Calling out all my nerds, freaks, and geeks. It's mob time.
Don't tune in cause it's showtime. Go ahead and call the gang up for the one time. Rap food rhyme, got them on the line. And my life's still great, I'm doing just fine. Hands up.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Blerd Mob, your hub for all things black and nerdy. I'm your host, Foop, joined by my two co-hosts, Ryan and Antoine. And we are here today to give you guys our review of the Superman 2025 movie. As always, our mob reviews are spoiler-filled. So if you have not seen Superman, seen a little bit of it, seen it halfway, we want you to pause this video, leave a comment, let us know you're coming back, finish the movie, and then come see the rest of the conversation. But if you are used to our mob reviews, you already know what's about to go down. We got some hot takes that we're going to talk through. We're going to talk about our favorite parts, our least favorite parts, characters, and all that good shit. So let's hop straight into it. So Superman dropped July 11th, 2025. This is the first movie out of the DCU, James Gunn's DCU. And I just want to start with the first question. How did we feel about the movie as a whole? And we can talk about this in comparison to other Superman movies or content, and also compare it to the previous DC live action movies that we have seen. Where does this fall?
If I'm just going off of the DCEU that previously existed, it beat all of them in my opinion. I enjoyed it. If I compare it to DC movies that I've seen in general, excluding the animated ones, still think Dark Knight takes the cake. And if I compare it to MCU, this is the first time I've enjoyed a superhero movie since Deadpool and Wolverine, and prior to that, Shang-Chi. So it was a success in my eyes.
I would say it was a success in my eyes too. Honestly, I had unknowing expectations for this movie, kind of because it seemed just
Yeah,
like a revamp or whatever. We got the new Superman and new characters in general, but I would say it exceeded my expectations. I like thoroughly enjoyed the movie. It felt kind of like I don't want to say nostalgic, but it felt like really authentic for a Superman
yeah,
movie to me, in my opinion. I think the characters did really well playing their roles. Um, I can't say I watched a whole lot of the more recent like DC movies, but this made me excited for what's to come, at least.
for sure, for
I would
sure.
agree. I would definitely agree that this, because I think, and me and Ryan have talked about this for as far as we known the DCU was coming. We knew that this Superman movie was going to have to set the tone for what the DCU was going to bring to the table. And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people were skeptical or unsure if Superman should have been the first movie coming out um of the gate to start this, but I felt like it had to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, if we want to look at the big three of DC, it's Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Batman has tons of content behind him, even though we'll come out to see another Batman movie. But if I had to pick a preference, I wouldn't want to start the universe off with Batman. I think Superman was a good pick. And I do hope we eventually get to Wonder Woman. So it left a good taste in my mouth for what is about to come up. Like when
Hmm.
Antoine said, I didn't know what to. I agree with Antoine when I said I didn't know what to expect coming into this movie. Because I've seen really good Superman stories, and I've seen Superman stories where it's like I tried to watch Man of Steel twice and fell asleep both times.
Yeah,
But I've talked on the podcast before about how I really love the My Adventures with Superman series.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to expect, but I did thoroughly enjoy the movie. The biggest thing I like about it is that it throws us smack dab in the middle of the DCU. Like, there's no build up. Like, Superman has been Superman for 3 years. There's metahumans. He already works for the Daily Planet. He already has his relationship with Lois. He already knows the limits of his abilities, or he knows about majority of his abilities. Lex Luthor is already a narcissistic asshole. Like, there is
Right.
no build up. Like, we're throwing you straight into the middle of the DCU. This is where we are.
Mhm.
You
No
know what's
build
funny?
up.
I know we're going to get into Lex, but he was one of my favorite parts of this movie as well.
Honestly, honestly,
I know we're saving that for later, but god damn it, I love a villain who is just a hater. That was beyond Kendrick level of hate.
But that's all. That's Lex
That's Lex.
Luthor's. That's Lex Luthor.
That's Lex.
A certified hater
right.
who knows no bounds. His hatred knows no bounds. He has a pocket universe of monkeys.
Exes. Dedicated.
Of ex dedicated to shitting on Superman on social media.
Yeah.
Like, that is so crazy. Where you get these monkeys from?
But I do want to say, Food, because I was one of the ones who was like, dang, I kind of wanted DC to probably start going the route of maybe do the MCU route, do some heroes we ain't really seen before, or the ones who are kind of in the background. But I was like, oh, after watching this, they did Superman justice. That's starting with him already being in the universe. I know a few people complain about like how the contrast was a little against the snow scene and all of that. But I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's just get into it. We don't need a full origin story, and they referred back to it well enough to where even if you don't know his origins much, you got the point. You got the gist of it.
Yeah, and that's the thing with like origin stories. But I feel like we know,
and
we've seen Superman's origins so many times. We've seen
1,000 times
Batman's
over and
origins
over.
so many times that personally I didn't need it.
Me neither.
Would I have been upset if James Gunn did put it in there? No. But the way that he did it was fine with me.
It was. I feel
Yeah.
like if he
And then
did, I feel like
go
if he
ahead,
did put it
Antoine.
in there, I feel like if he did put it in there, it kind of would have, for me at least, it would have made me feel like I was just watching kind of the same Superman movies that we've watched so many times over and over. And not saying that he couldn't do it in a good way, but
Yeah.
I think initially, that's probably how I would have felt going into the movie. Like, oh, okay, here we go, finna see the same Superman story that we've seen so many times over and over again. So I do like how he did that.
Yeah.
And to your point, Ryan, about us wanting to start the DCU with other characters. Superman has movies, but he's not, as far cinematic wise, he doesn't have as many movies as Batman does. So
That's true.
in one perspective, this is starting with a hero that doesn't get his cinematic shine all the time.
Yeah. And
Sure.
I'll give you that. It's like we all know who a Superman is, but Batman, I would objectively say, even based off what you're saying, I would say in the current history, recent decades, Batman is objectively the most popular DC hero. So
Yeah.
I feel like this shedded a good enough light on Superman. Because I'm gonna be honest, I enjoyed this movie, but Foop and Antoine both know I hate Superman. I hate him as a Boy Scout little hero. I think he's probably the most boring hero. Like, you create this ultimate being who's also super, super nice, has no flaws. Like, that's boring to me.
But
I love me a good anti-hero and a villain.
But I think, let me ask you a question, because I feel like I think I know where you got that standpoint from. What Superman movies have you seen?
Aside from the live action ones, the Justice League series, Superman Dark, or was it the one that Injustice was themed after?
That's
and
Injustice.
Then the one where he went against Dark,
side.
and when he went against Darkseid, the one that gets memed to death when Darkseid pulled him by like the cape and said, "Get over here."
Oh, okay. Superman, Batman, Apocalypse.
Yeah,
I was gonna
those are the
say,
ones I can remember.
And that's interesting to me because I feel like those are very good representations of Superman, where he makes mistakes and he has flaws. Like Superman, Batman, Apocalypse, it's basically him trying and failing to be a guardian to his cousin that just landed on Earth. It's which why him and Kara keep bumping heads throughout the whole movie. Like, he's not the perfect guardian. And even in the Justice League cartoons, he still made mistakes. Like, even though he's Superman, like, he didn't always make the best decisions.
It was
Either.
more. It was more so I just didn't like. I just don't. Me personally, I don't care for like the goody two shoes superheroes. Like, he has his flaws, but like Batman over here, I got a messed up head. I might do a couple of women wrong. Not saying I support that, but it is what it is. I don't trust my friends.
Hey.
Like, I'm on a whole team of people, and I got things set up to murder all of them if they betray me. Like, I like some folks with some edge and some like actual like issues. That makes them relatable to me, just personally.
Yo, this
I
Ryan,
love women, by the way.
Ryan goes. I wasn't even finna say nothing about that. If you gotta go, if you gotta state for the record that you love women, I wasn't even finna say.
Y'all love to call me misogynistic. Y'all love to call me that.
I wasn't even finna say that.
I believe you now. I believe you now.
I was finna say, Ryan scrolling, doing his interviews. You got some trauma? Don't worry about that, baby. Just sign.
But I'm sorry, bro. That's just me. I love a character with some issues. That's just me. I don't normally go for the goody two shoes, overly positive characters. None of them do I like.
I feel like, because when I was hearing you, like when you talked about Superman being like godlike and no flaws, my mind instantly goes to Zack Snyder's interpretation of Superman, because that
did suck too.
That felt godlike to me.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main reasons why I like this movie and why I love my adventures with Superman is because they centralize him being human first, then Superman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not Superman first, and Clark Kent is just this secret identity in the background. It's Clark Kent first, then it's Superman.
Yeah. I would say, like, in the movie, like, I did appreciate how he did make his flaws, as we like to see, but it was crazy to me in the time. But as fast as them people switched up on him, just because Lex Luthor came on talking about he killed that man.
Lex is a crazy instigator. When I say nobody challenge, the funniest thing to me is that this is a alien language that only at this point we haven't seen Kara yet, but only
we have not.
But one man barely understands. The man from the own planet can barely understand his own language. And you meaning to tell me that Lex Luthor found 27 people to decipher this message?
We got 27 people together and deciphered this message. Here's what it said.
we surveyed 100 people.
But what's even more impressive, you are such a hater that all of that is going against you, and you still did it. How much do you hate this guy? A1.
He hates that. He hates that man down. Bad. Real bad.
I love that level of hate. That level of hate, let's see more of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think I found it crazy too that they turned on him so fast, because he was like, he's been around for 3 years, saving y'all, helping y'all out, and then this video pops up, and now it's throw a can at his head. Man. But I also see it from the other side, is that these people don't really know Superman, like not on the level that Lois does.
Mm-hmm.
So if this super strong guy, all of a sudden this video pops up of his origins, y'all never seen this man's origins, never seen his adoptive parents or his real parents, and they come on the screen talking about, we sent you to Earth to dominate.
Yeah.
Jazz music stops. So I mean, like,
yeah.
I will say this. If I had to support that scene, because I kind of felt that way, but then I just really had to think about it. How much does it take for people who are always online? Because they really emphasize that in the movie. Like, how much does it really take for people who are always online and say, now I hate this person because of this one article or Instagram post or this one tweet they said 20 years ago? Not saying it's not always justified.
Well,
look, not saying it's not always justified, but that does happen.
But I would say this. I think that was just the start of it. Lex Luthor was playing the long game with Superman, because after that video came out, Then he had that video of Superman had busted in there talking about that dog throwing all that shit in that office.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Supporting evidence.
Exactly.
So if the article didn't get you and the video didn't get you,
Try this.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Lex Luthor played the social media game, which I like. That was a great addition to his character because I think he would do that. It really fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, like we were just saying before, Superman's been around for 3 years, and we can just assume that Lex Luthor has also been around hating on Superman for 3 years. So this isn't like a all of a sudden I have the great idea. Lex has probably been doing some shit in the past that he's probably been accumulating a Superman hate club, and this was just him finally getting into the Fortress of Solitude and getting that message was the icing on the cake. Like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him.
Exactly. And he did a great job. He did a great job at it.
He did a great job. I really appreciated his character in that movie.
But we're in the characters. We talked about Superman. We're on Lex Luthor. I just want to say this. When I agree with Antoine, I love the whole cast. From Superman, this was perfectly casted.
Messed
Superman,
up toes, like toes.
Lois Lane, Lex Luthor. Shout out to Nicholas Hoult. If you don't know who Nicholas Hoult is, that was Beast in the X-Men movies when they did First Class, Apocalypse. And he was in The Menu. He's probably done more movies, but I'm a superhero junkie, and that's where I know him from.
Love The Menu.
He did great as Lex Luthor, as well as it. Man, that was a cast. Let me find. And Eddie Gathegi. I probably pronounced that wrong. I apologize. But homeboy, also from X-Men First Class, who played Mr. Terrific, he was the shit.
Yeah, he was good.
That solo fight scene that he had.
That was nice.
That was nice.
And he's a fan favorite now, it seems. Like, when it comes to who everybody's talking about on social media, maybe it's because I'm mostly on Black Twitter, it's that's the fan favorite. And I've seen even on general pages, like on YouTube, he's in a spin-off show, and everybody excited.
But I mean, let's talk about it, though. Like, this is the cinematic debut for the DCU, and you're bringing in Mr. Terrific?
Yeah. I feel like that's how you drop a character that's really like not known by a whole lot of people. That's how you drop a new character and build off of that. That was nice. Because I don't before this movie, I don't know. I didn't know who that was.
Like,
I barely remembered him either. I had to be like, I had to watch some videos like, where did he show up in Justice League and some other stuff? I was like, I remember him.
I think he was in for the animated wise. I think he was in Justice League Unlimited. He was in the Arrow, the CW live action Arrow series. He was in Injustice. They put him in the movie for Injustice. And I think he might have been a key player in Crisis on Infinite Earths, but I try my best not to remember that.
Right.
But like, I think they did a really great job with him.
Yeah, they did. Like, he was cold. He felt like an independent character just with his dialogue and his story. I even liked how he interacted with everybody. Like, he was a little bit different from Green Lantern. Like, he stuck out like Green Lantern's just a egotistical asshole. This dude, he's a genius and actually acted like a genius. I feel like that's also kind of hard when you make intelligent characters in the movies and the people who's making it ain't that smart. Like, he actually felt believable. He was like, why the hell are y'all opening up a pocket dimension? I was like, you know what? A black genius would sound like that.
he was snapping on them folks so bad.
Yeah.
But how did you guys...
What did they call their little group that they had?
I was just going to ask, how did you guys feel about the Justice Gang?
Justice Gang. Hey. That was good to me. It was kind of weird, but it was good to me. I like the characters, how they didn't mesh, but they meshed at the same time. It was weird, but it was nice.
It was kind of like that. We a group, but we don't really act like we're not the Justice League. We're not sophisticated like the Justice League. Yeah. We're not sophisticated like the Justice League. Like, the president is not calling us up to do a press conference and giving us medals at the end of the day. But we gonna show up though. If you need us, we gonna show up though.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's why I was like, oh, try not to look ahead and just enjoy the movie. But is this how the Justice League starts? This is kind of like a funny start. I don't know how they actually started comic book wise, but this makes sense for a bunch of metahuman mutant creature things just coming together and like, hey, you got powers? I'm here. Want to
We
do
just
something
doing our
about it?
job.
I would be interested to see how that develops, how this all develops going into the Justice League, because I want to, time travel if we want to talk about the Justice League live action series, not live action, animated series. The first like 2 or 3 seasons are just that 7.
Yeah.
And then we get to Unlimited, and then that's when we start getting more people, and then Justice League is more like a network of heroes that can go anywhere at any time. So
Mhm.
is this the start of the Justice League, or is this going to be more of a Justice League Unlimited thing, where as we progress through the DCU and follow these heavy hitters, that we're going to have these side characters that can come in, that are going to come along and create this network of Justice League? Like, we're going to have our main 6 or our main 7, however many James Gunn puts on the lineup, and then behind them we have like the network of everybody that
Right.
they've interacted with in these different areas. So I wonder if that's where it's going with this.
Yeah, I like how it sets it up for this is the starting point, and we can go forward, and we can also branch off to kind of like give you guys more on the characters that we just gave you, because we don't know much about them. Everybody kind of just dropped in on this movie, but if they wanted to dive more into like this, terrific. If they wanted to dive more into what his whole story is, they could do that, and I think a lot of people would be into that because they like the character in the movie.
And I think that's just another praise to James Gunn and how this whole movie went, that even though we didn't learn much about these side characters, they were compelling enough that we want to learn more about them. We want to see more of them. And like we said, they're talking about the spinoff series for Mr. Terrific. They're talking about a spinoff series for Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
Mm,
And
yeah,
I think it makes sense.
Not only did the superpowered characters get the love and care, the non-powered characters got the love and care for us to feel attached and compelled to learn more about these people. Like, what's Jimmy's whole thing with picking up the girls and getting all his dirt, because
right.
he don't know how to say nah, baby, not tonight.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was really good though. Like the way they integrated, because you know what else? It almost, when I started seeing how many characters they were introducing, it did give me like Snyder vibes almost. Like I thought back how Superman v Batman, was that the one, or just the Justice League movie in general, had so many elements going all at once, and you just felt overwhelmed as a viewer. But I was like, oh,
It
this is
was
how you
really
do it
both.
right.
It was really both.
It was. But like in this movie, I felt like, oh no, I'm able to keep track of every plot point. I understand each character's desires. I'm not getting overloaded with information, despite, yeah, I know a little bit about DC, but I'm not like a big comic nerd. But I'm like, oh, for what y'all are showing me, I'm not overwhelmed. I'm able to take this all in and enjoy it.
But I think what Batman v Superman and Justice League did that Superman didn't, which is why this worked so well. They tried to put a major focus on every character in that movie.
Yeah.
Like Batman v Superman, it's like, we got to give this big chunk to Superman. We got to give this big chunk to Batman. We're going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Wonder Woman fucking shows up, and Doomsday and all this other stuff,
Right.
and it was like, this is too much. And then Justice League um tried to pull in Cyborg and Flash, and we haven't really seen them like on a solo level, so we're trying to catch up with what's going on with them and how they fit into all of this. And even if you watch the 4-hour cut of the Justice League, then it's still, they put in little mini movies to explain what's going on with Cyborg and the Flash, just so we can all be caught up and understand how they fit this dynamic towards the end of this 4-hour movie. But the thing that Superman does is that they keep the side characters side
Yeah.
characters. and continue to remind you that this is a Superman movie. Like, yes, we're going to have this scene off to the side where Lois is talking to the Justice Gang, but she's going there to save who?
Superman, exactly.
And after we left here, what was the next scene? Superman.
Yeah. I'll give you that. Every side character they supplemented with the holistic plot and as well as the main character, which is Superman. They did a great job at that.
Yeah.
You definitely right on that.
The other thing I want to touch on is the dialogue in the movie, because I thought this was really well done. So the argument that Lois and Superman have at the beginning of the movie, I didn't know that whole scene was like 12 minutes long. I don't remember it being that long. But I felt like the argument, the way they were going back and forth, I guess because it was the way that the argument and the conversation like progressed naturally, it felt like we were just having like a regular, like maybe this might be like a 5-minute conversation. We're going to the next thing. Yeah. I didn't know that jump was 12 minutes long with no action. Just them sitting on the couch arguing back and forth about how he handled that shit overseas.
Right.
The way they did it was nice. I saw a review where somebody talked about just that part, and they was like, "Oh, I watched this, and as someone in a marriage, it actually felt like somebody who's been through a divorce." And they was like, after I look into James Gunn, yep, that makes sense. And I was like, you know what? I didn't mind the scene because it felt realistic. And if that plays a part, like the director did a great job at really integrating what a natural relationship between superhero and their partner would probably look like. Like the only other show that I could
aggressive.
Yeah. Because the only other show I could think of that did a decent job at showing how it would probably work is probably Invincible. That I can like just recall off the top of my head of like, yeah, what does those type of dynamics look like? And you're a superhero, you want to say, girl, why you arguing with me? I be saving people. And she don't care. She been with you how long?
and that's why I really like Lois Lane. Because Lois Lane, the Lois Lane Superman dynamic has always been Lois Lane challenging the order. That's her whole. That's her whole thing. So even though you're my boyfriend, even though you're Superman, and even though I know that if you felt like it, you could chuck me out this window, you're gonna answer these questions. I'm gonna hold you accountable because, and I feel like that's attacking the whole Superman God complex from a different front. Like Lex Luthor attacks it from area of hate and envy, while Lois attacks it from like friendship, like how we hold ourselves accountable. Like, do you really feel like I'm not like trying to talk down on you? I'm just trying to understand why you feel this way. Why you felt this way. Do you feel like that was the right thing to do?
Right. Like, and she helps him understand from a different perspective because obviously to Superman, he gonna feel like, well, I did the right thing, so no one should care. But she really challenged him on that. Like, even though you feel like it's the right things, it's still customs and procedures that you need to follow, and you need to worry about the image that you have in people's minds. And that's kind of just like what started that whole conversation. And that back and forth was just nice to see because he was still trying to argue his point, like, okay, you saying all of this, but I did this good thing, so why are we having this argument?
And
I love the part where he started telling her things, and he was like, "Don't leave that on there."
Right.
You're on the record, Superman, but you can't say that. But you can't say that.
And like he couldn't stick to the hypothetical either. He was like, you know what really happened. She was like, but on paper, I don't know
exactly.
You. So speak to me from the perspective of Superman. I was like, how is she going to know exactly what you did? She's just a reporter who don't know you, Clark. What's going on?
I feel like that is honestly. Let's just go back to the conversation about how the people turned on him. That is really. She was really just breaking down how people see Superman from a perspective that we don't know you personally. Like,
exactly,
you're attacking me because we know each other on a personal level, but the people who are going to see this don't know you on a personal level.
They don't know
level.
Who you are.
So you saying that I know what happened and I know this and you know it didn't happen that way, somebody's going to read this and be like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Exactly.
You just made that up.
Exactly. And shout out to
You just made that.
and I want to give him credit too, because like for this to be like Superman takes place in like a time period where like newspapers and all that is still like plays a part in the universe. And I was like, for them to like adapt it to like modern times, like, oh, now these folks on social media, they getting stuff off the rip. They seen on the news, Instagram, and everything. I thought they did a great job
Well,
integrating that.
I do want to ask this though, because I don't remember. Because the Daily Planet has always been newspapers, but I don't remember seeing a newspaper in that movie. So are they just doing newspapers, or are we at the Daily Planet, but we're like like we're publishing articles on the internet?
It reminded me of like the Wall Street Journal. Like they was like posting articles, and then everybody else talks to it. Like, oh, just in's podcast or news channel person, someone uploaded an article here.
I don't remember seeing no newspaper. So the Daily Planet and the DCU could be fully lodged into the whole social media thing, and they
Which was
just in there
cold.
and they just in there writing articles.
And that was cold, because that's honestly like it wouldn't probably sit right, or rather, if the goal is to make this modern and feel current, it wouldn't be right if you stuck to newspaper. I don't even know if I've seen a newspaper for real in real life in the past decade.
I don't remember seeing one in the movie. So like
yeah.
I would
It really shows how like a modern day world would be. You know, somebody might have their video camera or their camera, and they record Superman doing this one thing, and you know when you see a snippet of the whole story of what happened, it could look bad when you don't get the whole picture. So I really feel like that played a huge role into people might like changing their minds about Superman, or like believing anything they might see on the internet. Because like I just saw you in this video doing this thing, and you might be talking about this other stuff, but we just saw you on video.
We just saw what happened over here, big dog. Someone lying. That's Portia's favorite phrase. Somebody lying.
Like, what was I about to mention? I do want to talk about some of the other events. So we talked about the argument. We talked a little about the Mr. Terrific fight scene. I want to get into Superman versus Ultraman in the Engineer. The final fight towards the end of the movie.
A lot of people were talking about how on Twitter it was like when Superman finds out you can just throw a punch, and he just started doing anything. That little spin on the football field was kind of crazy. that was kind of crazy. Like, why you talking that little nigger like that?
She locked his hand right there. He was like, "Oh, okay."
Boom, boom, boom. Like, why are you doing this?
They said Superman went from, you don't have to do this. You can change your ways to swinging her around and circle the ground.
Hey, listen. Sometimes Superman just like, I told you. That's the difference between Superman and Batman. Batman, he doesn't say anything. Oh, that's your ass. That's
exactly.
Batman. Superman is like, okay, come on, guys. We don't really have to do this. Then they do something. Uh-oh.
All right.
Yep.
All right, I guess we do got to do this.
I guess we do got to do this then.
And what I do like, I didn't know that Buddy was going to be a clone of Superman. Because, like, with the DC animated films I've seen, I was like, yeah, one of the funny things is if it's not like this overly powered alien person or villain person, it might be like a copy of Superman. That's not an unheard of trope. And I was like, oh, so Lex got this man fighting a clone of himself. Ain't that crazy?
But let's get into this, though, because I have a far off in the galaxy theory that this may tease Bizarro coming to the DCU, and this might tease Superboy coming into the DCU. So let's start with Bizarro. Bizarro is a clone of Superman, but he's not that smart.
This was a clone of Superman that was not that smart.
He's not that smart. He can't think for himself.
And they called him Bizarro Superman because I don't remember his actual origins, but like he tried to be Superman, but he just wasn't all the way there.
Exactly.
So they threw him into whatever little black hole pocket universe. I wonder if he comes back as Bizarro Superman.
Because Superman's already nice. He might try to take care of him or look out for him or something. Justice Gang might be like, let's help this dude out if he ain't on some crazy stuff.
I don't. If they bring him back, I don't know how they would do him. I know a while back, when they did the Outlaws with Red Hood and Artemis, Bizarro was part of the team, so he was being a good guy.
Gotcha.
In that comic run, but 2, let's get into Superboy. Lex said he created a clone of Superman that doesn't have the smarts, and Superman whooped his ass. So this could prompt Lex Luthor to create another Superman clone and to fill in the piece that didn't make it, the intelligence. And Superboy gets his intelligence from who? Lex Luthor. So if he tries again, it's possible that this man might pop up with Superboy.
Yeah.
I can see
Yeah, that's
that.
what I was thinking when I was walking out. I was like, yeah, this definitely sets up a Superboy like
Like
follow up.
I said, this is a theory far off in a galaxy. But when I found out it was a Superman clone, I was like, is this man Bizarro? Does this tease Bizarro? And then the other piece of it is like, will this prompt Lex Luthor to create Superboy?
That'd be nice.
I like
I,
that theory. It makes it
I feel like
cool.
that would be a nice setup for that.
That'd be a cool addition. Shoot. I also really liked how they even did Crypto, since we talk about all these super folks, super relatives.
Hey, that dog
Look.
is so funny. The way when Lex Luthor was doing his speech and that dog snatched him up and pop, 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 pop. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Avengers 1, where Loki was doing that big speech to Thor and he was like, I am a god. And Hulk literally
comes in.
blam, 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 blam. I was
Yeah,
like,
Crypto told him the lady screaming. That was a funny scene to me.
It was.
And then when Supergirl shows up, just to get to the end of the movie, when that dog was pounding her ass in that concrete,
and she just that was funny.
I'm like, girl, this dog was beating Superman a little bit up when he hit the Yamcha Dragon Ball Z fall in the beginning of this movie.
But now you see why he really needed to get that dog back.
Yeah.
Had Supergirl shown up drunk from that planet, talking about, where's my dog? And that dog wasn't in there.
Yeah. There's some boxing going on.
But let's talk about Metamorpho, who's now joining. I think at the end he joined the Justice Gang. But I thought that was an interesting character to bring into the fold, because I'm not too familiar with Metamorpho, but I do remember him from the Superman animated series. And I wonder if they just put him in to show that Lex is capturing all of these metahumans. Like, we're still emphasizing that these different creatures and metahumans exist in this universe. And not only is Lex capturing them, he's also finding ways to use them against Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, I also don't know much about that character. That was a good play on that though. Like the way that Lex Luthor had all them folks locked up in that dimension, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And the whole Metamorpho thing with him trying to get his child back. I think they played a nice little introduction for him at least.
I think it was a good way of introducing the different personality types of the different heroes, because like I'm not familiar with that character. Is he in the Justice League?
I'm gonna say this, and for those who are watching this mob review, please correct me if I'm wrong. We can also look this up on Google, but I'm gonna say this right quick. I thought Metamorpho was one of Superman ops. That's what was in my head. So I was like, okay, Metamorpho, Lex Luthor working together, ops. But then they flipped it to where Lex Luthor was holding him against his will, and I was like, okay, is Metamorpho not a villain?
If he isn't, or if he's going to turn into it, I like that it introduced the different personality types, because I also felt like it was a stark contrast between.
Oh, never mind. They say he was a superhero.
Yeah, from just a general Google search. Yeah,
I think it was also like a stark difference from, like, remember when Hawk Girl was like holding, but you're not going to drop me. You're like Superman, and she was like, I'm not like Superman. Just like Buddy Crash. Like, I was like, this is how kind of sadistic a hero could be. This is how sad and unheroic a hero could be. And then you got like Superman in the middle. Like, I liked how we had those little comparisons for how the Justice Gang could possibly grow and evolve, especially since Metamorpho came back and was like, I'm helping y'all out. And was that Afghanistan? I can't remember.
I forgot what they named that country.
Yeah, it was somewhere, but
I
yeah,
forgot what they
I agree
named
with
it.
that
Yeah.
though. We did get to see like different personalities for different heroes. Like they pull up, yeah, we just suggest this game. We pop up
I'm
and
telling
we
you,
pop up and save
we're not
you. If not, yeah,
sophisticated.
We're
We
not
just
sophisticated.
we just doing the job.
we're
You
just
don't
here.
like it? Oh well.
Well, my bad, y'all. I thought Metamorpho was a villain. Now I don't know who. Now I don't know who I was thinking about, but they say he's been a hero this whole time. My
Hmm.
bad.
It is what it is. He was pretty
But I
solid
but
too.
but still, I do think it was an interesting choice to put him in the movie because we don't see. Sorry to keep banging the drum on this, but My Adventures of Superman is doing a good job of bringing in more of Superman's rogues into the fold, and I like
Hmm.
that James Gunn is doing the same thing in the DCU. Um, or bringing in more people that I remember from the older Superman stuff in here. He's not an op.
Exactly.
Everybody get that out of your head. Metamorpho is not an op.
I don't think none
I,
of us had
I
that in our head.
I
another
did.
small thing that I appreciate. I do appreciate that the Justice Gang is who went out to that country to help the people out because Superman can't be
Yeah.
everywhere. Superman can't
Yeah.
save everybody. So I think that was nice for them to get their face out there on a broader scale, if it wasn't already. Um, just to kind of showcase that like Superman ain't doing everything. Like there's some other people out here. We can
I,
save y'all. We can.
Yeah.
I think that's a good approach because I was thinking I was like, are they gonna like have him handle this over here and then fly
And then
over and help
he
that little boy?
zoomed all the way over
Yeah, help that
there.
little
That's what
boy
I
with
was
the
thinking.
flag and everything.
I
I
was
was
like,
like,
oh, he
okay, they
gonna
did
do
that.
his look. I was thinking he's gonna do his epic show up. He fly in, boom, come down.
Mm-hmm.
Superman saves the day as per usual. So I think the fact that they didn't go that route because it's typically what we would expect was pretty nice.
I was
Yeah,
expecting it, I'm not gonna lie.
I
But
was
when it got
expecting
to
that.
when it got to the wire and he was still fighting them folks in that baseball field, I was like, something.
Somebody ain't gonna make it. Something
She
to
was like,
go.
"Whoa, Superman ain't done yet." Like
Right.
Whoa.
this kid about to like get hit by like what's
I
going on here?
I thought this movie was called Superman.
For real though.
I
Yeah.
was like, does the villain
this
win in
this
this?
button said this man named three times like Beetlejuice and you're not there yet.
Not there yet. Like it was crazy. Like it was crazy because I'm like, y'all got me questioning this a little bit now.
But
Yeah.
I did like that piece. And I think it just goes back to our possible, like when we were theorizing, like how are they going to bring the Justice League into this? Or
Mm-hmm.
how are they
Mhm.
going to create this network of heroes? It might not even be the Justice League. How are they going
Exactly.
to create this network of heroes? And that's usually how it goes. That's how, if you guys recall Young Justice, all of these heroes were already established. So when shit went down, it was like, who's in the area? Who can get over here?
Mhm.
Exactly.
And it wasn't always Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. It
Until they
was
Yeah.
out doing other stuff.
right.
Yeah. It was well executed because like that scene did actually have me sit on the edge of my seat. I'm like, oh, so when's he gonna fly over? Is he gonna like
Right.
jump through the pocket dimension
I'm
and
worried
help
for the
this
little
little
boy too.
boy? Yeah, I'm like, hold on, like, I mean, there's a way for him to get there, but he's still like fighting his little clone over here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He over there.
They down in the dirt.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Lex Luthor is giving a whole speech on envy and hatred.
wait a
One
minute, they don't.
A, one A, one A.
One A, like the
Man,
way,
I'm
yo.
talking about he's foaming out the mouth up in there.
That's like
He's spitting on everybody. He's spitting
yeah.
on everybody.
That's like my boy is not making it over there. I don't
That,
know what to tell you.
that man was
He's
cut
tied
up in
up.
that
He's
room.
tied up right now.
Like, bro, I'm sorry.
But
I want to talk. I want to talk about Lex again. Lex is crazy.
I was just gonna turn the conversation back to Lex because that whole sequence once again shows you how deep Lex's hatred for Superman runs. A pocket dimension is splitting Metropolis, and you are in a spaceship giving a speech to Superman while controlling this Superman clone and whooping his ass. The universe is splitting.
And he don't care nothing
Like,
about that as long as
And
he's
he
like,
don't
proving a
care
point.
nothing about that. As long as I get my shit in, I don't care what's going on.
Good luck, everybody else.
Not even just that. I'm letting the universe split. Despite in my head, these aliens, we shouldn't have to depend on them. F them. I got the military. I can protect the people. Who are you protecting? You are the villain.
The city is getting.
Meanwhile, in the city,
it's going like this.
little towers getting tear like paper.
It's splitting like the Red Sea outside.
Yeah,
but we mad at Superman.
Right. I didn't think they was gonna let it. Because, like, just thinking typical Superman movies, I really didn't think they was gonna allow some of the events to go as far as they did. I didn't think that Rip was gonna make it as far as it did into the
Me
city.
neither.
I didn't think it was gonna take so long for somebody to go save them folks over there in that other country. I was like, yeah, like Ryan said, I'm on the edge of my seat. Like, how are we finna solve these problems? What are we finna do?
Yeah. And shoot, even Lex, when the world was split, it almost got to his time. Like, wait, don't this dude need to leave too? And then he flew away. I was like, okay, that's kind of cold.
It's so funny that it was going.
You're a hater, but that's cold.
One thing about Lex Luthor, he's gonna save himself. He's gonna have a plan.
That was cold.
He's gonna have a plan. Lex is coming this way. Do the boosters. The what?
1A, Lex is coming this way. What? Boosters. What? F3.
Why do I have to keep telling you this? You know this is a spaceship.
And how many sequences was it again? Was he like 52 sequences just to whoop that man up?
He said they had been perfecting it for like years though.
Like, this man gave one character a whole Tekken loadout of combos. Do you know how insane that is?
But if he's been like I said, if Superman's been around for 3 years, it's safe to assume that Lex Luthor has been around for 3 years. So he's probably been studying this man for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But that's his whole thing. Obsession equals Lex Luthor. Superman obsession. When you look in the dictionary and search Superman obsession, it's not even a definition. It's a picture of Lex Luthor.
Look, and bro, like, I don't know how comic book accurate Lex was or whatever. To the comic nerds, let me know if I'm off on anything. But I saw someone pull up a snippet. I don't know which animated form DC show / movie it was, but it was Lex sitting in a hospital. And the nurse came by and said, yeah, Lex, you got like this type of cancer. It probably came from kryptonite, this unknown substance. And Superman's just standing at the edge of the bed. And Lex looked at the results and said, you happy now, Superman? Nigga, you got that because you wanted to be around kryptonite all day. And Superman just looked at her like, you chose to be around kryptonite.
This is your fault.
This is your fault. You came here and made me carry this crap right in my pocket.
You tricked me.
And in retrospect,
why didn't you tell me this shit causes cancer? Superman looking like, Lex, you know this shit can kill me. Well, damn it, I didn't know. You hurt me too.
Bro, it can kill the most powerful being that Earth has ever seen.
Ooh, can we
and
talk
you don't
about
think
this,
it's gonna do nothing to you?
Can we talk about this though?
What's up?
I really liked how they portrayed kryptonite in this movie too. That shit fucked Superman up.
Ooh.
Bad.
Yeah.
Like, he was sickly.
Yeah. I like that too.
Like, sometimes, I don't even remember in the DCEU if we saw kryptonite. And if we did, he may have been like,
no, remember, didn't Batman have like that staff when it was in the Batman v Superman movie? Like, it was like at the very end of it. Was it a staff like in some water or something? And then it took them figuring out they had the same mama's name or whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, I remember the Martha, why did you say that name part? But I don't remember no kryptonite stick. But I just want to say that they really, I would like to say I appreciate that they really show how kryptonite can really mess that man up.
Yeah, for sure.
Mess him up, it did, man.
Like,
he was looking rough.
Like, I've seen, like, there is like kryptonite poisoning that the Kryptonians can get from this. Yeah. And they didn't touch on it in the movie, but I'm pretty sure that man had kryptonite poisoning.
And the fact that it did so much damage, like, it wasn't just, oh, I'm good now that you got it like 10, 15 yards away from me. I need some sunlight now to actually recover and heal, because it's like put me down for the count right now.
Like, he was barely fighting his way out of that pocket dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Even though he had gotten away from the kryptonite.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I love that. I absolutely love that.
So I do want to spin the block back on Supergirl because we are getting Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow next year. I believe July 2026. It's either June or July 2026. But based on what we have seen of Supergirl, how do you guys feel about going into her movie? Do we like Supergirl? Do we like, or what's
I
our
thought
thoughts?
I would say we didn't get too much of her. We got just enough. I feel like her movie is going to be funny. Obviously, it's going to be comedy. So I think they can do it. If they do it well, I think it'll be nice in that way. It's very interesting to see another super being that is like way different than Superman. Like she got basically the same powers as him, but she's her own character. So it's going to be a different story that's going to feel different enough for me to get my attention.
Yeah, and Supergirl, I'm not overly familiar with Supergirl, but similar to Antoine, like this is going to be a different approach. If you're showing me this other super being who's probably not really on that, I got to save everybody, I got to save a squirrel from a falling building type of stuff. She's a lot more lax, more worldly at this point, just the way she was talking to Clark. I'm interested to see how they handle that in a movie. Like, I want to see, is it going to connect? Is it independent? Are you going for a superhero movie? Or are you going from like a satiristic comedy? I'm interested to see what James Gunn
Yeah,
approach is in that movie.
yeah.
I think it's going to be a superhero movie, but I think it's definitely going to be the opposite of Superman because my girl Kara is a force to be reckoned with. And I think I love her entrance because it immediately establishes the juxtaposition of Supergirl to Superman. Like Superman
Mm-hmm.
is all what the hey dude and like Boy Scout, and she comes up here, thanks for watching my dog, bitch.
Right.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah.
We know what you're about.
We
Hmm.
I
know
like
exactly
that.
what you want.
I like that she already had her Supergirl costume on, so it's possible that she's already she's starting to establish herself as Supergirl, and she hasn't been around as long as Superman, but she has been here for a while, so we don't have to. We can skip over the this is my cousin. Oh, you need to assimilate to Earth, and
Hmm.
I think you're ready to put on the costume. We didn't already bypass by that. She got the costume.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
I really like after the first poster for the Supergirl movie that Superman's thing was look up, and her poster is look up. The up is scratched out. They talking about look out, and I was like,
Right.
that's what the fuck I'm talking about.
She's like, this embodies the character so well.
Because
Yeah.
Supergirl don't play no games. I
Mm-hmm.
I want to read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, the storyline that this is going to be based off of. But that's my girl. Any
Yeah.
version of Kara Zor-El that I have seen on the screen has been great.
Yeah.
My favorite one is the Superman Batman Apocalypse when she whooped Darkseid ass.
I remember it.
Hmm.
Because
And we
she's
also
technically stronger than Superman by DC standards, right?
she's strong. She's older than Superman. She just got trapped in space. She's stronger
Mm-hmm.
than Superman. She's trained. She lived on Krypton.
Mm-hmm.
So while Superman is over here throwing people in a circle, that young lady has hands for real.
If
That's
they
gonna
can
be
And
show
nice to
then
that
see.
off really nice, I would love to see that. Like, if they can really make that comparison in a movie, I would love to see that.
we're coming from a different perspective of loss in a sense. Like Superman experiences loss from the fact that he doesn't know his home planet at all. The closest thing he has to his parents are holographic images he has in his Fortune of Solitude. Supergirl was what, 13, 14, 15 when Krypton
Fair.
went to shit? So she knew her parents well. She knew Superman's parents well. She born, lived, and breathed Krypton. and for her to be shipped off on a spaceship and watch her planet blow up, and then get stuck in, and then you get split from the cousin you were supposed to protect, and get stuck in space, and then you eventually end up on Earth. Your cousin's grown as shit. You have to assimilate to all of this, everything else is that's going on, and then you still have to fully come to the terms that everybody that you known and love is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would be curious to see how they explain her drinking in the movie. Like, was her showing up back to the Fortress of Solitude drunk just for S&Gs, or is she really going through some shit and she just flies off to a planet to get drunk to escape?
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
And that would be an interesting plot point too. Like if they take it from the approach of like, you went through all this trauma, alcoholism is what you depend on. Like not an unheard type of plot point, but when you tie that to the fact that this is an overpowered superhero and all of the negative consequences of a superhero battling with depression and alcoholism, it'll be interesting to see how that can affect everybody around you.
But that's if they go that route. Like I said,
If they go that route,
she could have just showed up at the end of the movie drunk off her ass for S&Gs.
Mm-hmm.
But just given the history of Supergirl and everything that she has gone through up to this point, it could be possible that that's just not all that is. That's just not all S&Gs.
Yeah,
exactly.
And Superman understands that, which is why he wasn't like, "Oh, here she go, her drunk ass back again," and was just like, "Hey, Kara, Crypto's here.
Where's my dog?
He not coming to be word the next time you go through here."
Exactly.
Yeah. It'll be nice to see someone on her on screen with that opposite of Goody Goody Two Shoes.
Also, have we ever gotten a Supergirl movie?
That's what I was just about to say. I'm excited for the fact that we are even getting a Supergirl solo film to begin with.
That's crazy.
And her introduction into Superman and the poster, and let's talk about this for a little bit. Jason Momoa is going to be Lobo, so we're bringing in Lobo into the mix. This John is going to go crazy. I'll let you know how crazy it is when I read Woman of Tomorrow. But right now, I am super excited for Supergirl to come out. No pun intended.
Super excited. I see what you did there. You proud of that? I hope you are.
I didn't. That was off the dome, but it wasn't like, ooh, let me say this right quick. it wasn't like, ooh, I'm gonna get them with this one.
They gonna love this.
They gonna love this shit right here.
But yeah, for someone who hasn't like watched any Supergirl series or read anything about Supergirl, I'm curious to see how they're gonna do this.
Yeah,
I hope it pulls me closer to liking Supergirl. Not that I dislike her, I just don't know much about her.
Based on what James Gunn has done with Superman, I have high hopes for Supergirl. I'm excited to see it.
And you know what? Not to just make James Gunn like the god of superhero films and stuff now, but I was at first going into this, like, everybody's hyping up James Gunn. I don't even think I watched the Guardians of the Galaxy movies that they said he led. And it's like, is he really finna change DC? How many attempts did we make at like how many attempts have we tried to make DC really like popping in the past decade or two? And this made me go, okay, if this one film is the standard, you set a new standard. The hype was real.
But my thing is that it's going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Was this a knock out of the park? Was this the best superhero movie of all time? Probably not, given to what we have.
Yeah.
We compare it to all the superhero movies.
Yeah.
But if we compare this to everything that we've went through with DC live action movies and the fact that we were getting another reset, this right here and the fact that this is going to get better, this is going to grow, this is good. This is positive. This gives us something to look forward to in the future.
This gives us hope.
Mm-hmm.
I like what you did there. I like what you did there. We gonna put this on the thumbnail. This gives us hope.
Dope.
I see what he did. It. Did you get it, Antoine? Do you get it?
I looked down when he was, so I didn't see what he did.
The Superman symbol, the S on his chest,
Yeah.
is not for Superman. It's the Kryptonian symbol for hope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
You learned
actually,
something new today.
They talked about that in the Zack Snyder verse too, so that's funny that you didn't catch that, Antoine.
Well, sometimes we don't want to talk about the movies. I don't remember. If they talked about it in The Man of Steel, I already told you I fell asleep twice trying to watch this shit. So I don't know what they did in that movie. I know I woke up and he snapped Zod's neck, and I was like,
yeah, I really just remember action scenes from that.
I remember that part. But everything else, no. But that's all I had. Did you guys have any other thoughts on Superman?
Honestly, no. It was like, I guess to close it out, it was just a solid film, bro. Like, it didn't necessarily work as it wasn't necessarily an origin, but if this counts as like an origin, kind of, because it's like the origin of this new universe.
Introduction.
Yeah, as an introduction film to Superman and the new James Gunn DCU, this set a great tone. This set a great tone for what's to come.
I agree.
Same here. Well, if that's it, guys, we're going to go ahead and shut this down. So once again, thank you, Antoine and Ryan, for joining me on another episode of the Blerd Mob podcast. If you want to see more mob reviews from us, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave us a comment. Let us know how you felt about the review and how you felt about Superman itself. If this is your first time checking us out, we appreciate it. Or if this is your 50th time checking us out, we also appreciate it. Make sure to follow us on our social media platforms. We're on Instagram at the Blerd Mob Pod. We're on Twitter at the Blerd Mob. And you can find us on Facebook and TikTok at the Blerd Mob Podcast. And with all that being said, this is the mob checking out. Peace.
They're gonna have some big shoes to step in though. Because like everybody's gonna be hard on them.
Yeah, it's gonna be an adjustment.
You're going into Wolverine. Yeah.
But I have to go to Hugh Jackman's performance. I think he did